Jesus, releasing destinies. This is Celebration TV. Revealing Jesus, releasing destinies. This is Celebration TV. Revealing Jesus, releasing destinies. This is Celebration TV.
To 15.7 trillion naira by the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor Ibikule Amosu.
Welcome to Newsdesk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James, and it is many thanks for joining us. Quickly a look at the news making the rounds for today. Buhari felicitates with former President Jonathan at 64. 4 days of national mourning declared for FW The Clerk in South Africa. Schools and colleges shut as pollution worsens in Delhi. UNICEF, Jumia plan internet for Nigerian schools. Eagles survive Blue Sharks' onslaught, qualify for playoff. Do well to stay with us to bring you a lineup of interesting news stories just after this time out. Welcome back, and now the news in details. Buhari felicitates with former President Jonathan at 64. President Muhammadu Buhari, on behalf of the government and Nigerians, greets former President Dr. Goodluck Jonathan on his 64th birthday anniversary, November 17, 2021. This is as he congratulated him for serving the country and working for the peace and advancement of democracy on the African continent. Buhari's congratulatory message is contained in a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, titled President Buhari hails Dr. Goodluck Jonathan at 64. According to Shehu, the president affirmed that Jonathan continues to expand the boundaries of leadership, teaching many in the country and the power of focus, consistency, and diligence. Having served as Deputy Governor, Governor Vice President, President African Union Envoy, and now Chairman of the International Summit Council for Peace Africa, an association of incumbent and former heads of state and their deputies established in 2019 by the Universal Peace Federation, an organization in general consultative status with the United Nations. Buhari believes the former president profile should remind those in position and all aspiring leaders that serving the country and humanity requires sacrifice and ultimately placing the interest of others above personal gains. And moving forward, Sanwo-Olu inaugurates visitation panel on LIASON. Lagos State Governor Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu has inaugurated a 10-man full visitation panel to identify and prefer solutions to challenges in Lagos State University, Ojo. Speaking during the inauguration ceremony held at the Lagos House Marina, Sanwo-Olu says the constitution of the panel further demonstrated the government's commitment to making LIASON among the best universities in the world. It says that the government wanted LIASON to be the best in terms of quality research, pedagogical and administrative excellence, as well as industrial harmony. The governor says the setting up of the full visitation panel was based on the recommendation of Professor Bamitale Omole-led LIASON Vice Chancellorship Special Visitation Panel, constituted to resolve issues trailing the appointment of the university's 9th Vice Chancellor. The Special Visitation Panel recommended the immediate inauguration of a full visitation panel to holistically assess LIASON's administrative process, academic programs, and finances. Samuel expressed confidence that the panel would justify the trust reposed in them as seasoned professionals with experience in the education sector and impressive track records of excellence. Samuel urged them to be objective and meticulous in executing this critical assignment. In another development, new bill seeks backing for Nigerian territorial sea. The Senate has passed a bill seeking to provide legal framework for the administration of Nigeria's territorial sea and offshore activities. The Senate passed after it considered a report on it by the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters. Chairman of the committee, Senator Opeyemi Bamidele, says the bill sought to streamline all national laws and efforts in line with global best practices in other jurisdictions and provisions of the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. The lawmaker says the legislation passed by the chamber set out the legal framework within which all activities in the oceans and seas should be carried out. He noted that Nigeria had vast resources from the ocean, which include oil and gas, fish and fisheries, resources, minerals, salt, renewable energy resources, hence the need for such legislation. Bamidele stated that the stakeholders at a public hearing on the bill posited that the territorial sea, in addition to internal waters, was a zone within which Nigeria enjoys sovereignty. He emphasized that the legal nature of the maritime zone was relevant and sacrosanct to the negotiation process of the establishment of every other thing. He noted that recent events with neighboring states had brought to the fore the seeming shortcomings of Nigeria's policy on ocean. And now bringing you news stories from around Africa, 4 days of national mourning declared for FW The Clerk in South Africa. South Africa has declared 4 days of national mourning after the death on November 11th of its white president, Prophetic De Klerk, who remains a controversial figure in the country despite his role in dismantling the apartheid system. In an unexpected speech to Parliament in February 1990, De Klerk announced the release of the regime's #1 enemy, Nelson Mandela, and the legalization of his party, the African National Congress, and other parties fighting the segregationist system, paving the way for the end of white rule and the country's democratic transition. A national mourning will be observed from this evening to Sunday evening. The national flag will be flown at half-mast as a mark of respect, announced the office of the President Cyril Ramaphosa. A private funeral is planned for Sunday. An official commemoration will also be held at a date yet to be determined. The death of FW The Clerk at 85 has generated mixed reactions in South Africa, with some criticizing the Nobel Prize winner, whom he received jointly with Mandela in 1993 for never having made a full apology for the crimes of the apartheid. In a posthumous video released a few hours after his death, the former president attempts to correct this impression and apologizes unreservedly for the pain, suffering, indignity, and damage that apartheid inflicted. Still from around Africa, 14 tons of gems illegally exported since January, says the Ministry of Mineral Resources in Mozambique. 14 tons of smuggled gold, rubies, and other gems have been illegally exported from Mozambique since the beginning of the year, says a senior official in the Ministry of Mineral Resources. Mozambique is home to some of the world's largest gemstone deposits, often mined by artisanal miners with no access to official markets. Gold, rubies, garnets, and tantalite used to create surgical steel have been exported by smuggling networks since January, Fernando McQueen says, a senior official in the Ministry of Mineral Resources. The illegal gem trade is largely concentrated in the northern Mozambique, where an Islamist insurgency has forced some 800,000 people to flee their homes. Mining gems and selling them on illicit markets, sometimes through corrupt local officials, has become a means of survival for many displaced people, according to a report released in early November by the Swiss think tank Global Initiative Against Transitional Organized Crime. The province of Cabo Delgado, the most affected by the insurgency, is home to the Montepuez ruby mine, which currently supplies more than half of the world market for new rubies. Mozambique Supreme Court Judge Rafael Sebastião, meanwhile, assured that the judiciary is working to prosecute those responsible in smuggling cases. Right now, we'll be taking a break, and when we return, we shall be bringing you more news updates. Do well to stay with us.
What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy the need of humanity? Of course, with Celebration TV, it will get the desired reciprocation you long for. We are committed to giving your business and services that quality touch of class, and you will be happy you made the right choice by placing that investment of yours on the right platform. Without delay, you can call on this number for your advert placement, partnership, or sponsorship of our programs. Celebration Television, your best bet.
Welcome back. Still on Newsdesk, schools and colleges shut as pollution worsens in Delhi. Authorities in the Indian capital Delhi have shut all schools and colleges indefinitely amid the worsening levels of air pollution. Construction work has also been banned until 21st November, but an exception has been made for transport and defense-related projects. Only 5 of the 11 coal-based power plants in the city have been allowed to operate. A toxic haze has smothered Delhi since the festival of Diwali. The levels of PM2.5 to tiny particles that can clog people's lungs in Delhi are far higher than the World Health Organization safety guidelines. Several parts of the city recorded figures close to or higher than 400, which is categorized as severe. A figure between 0 and 50 is considered good, and between 51 and 100 is satisfactory, according to the Air Quality Index, or AQI. This year, the pollution has become so dire that it prompted a stern warning from India's Supreme Court, which directed state and federal government to take imminent and emergency measures to tackle the problem. Following the hearing, a meeting was called by Delhi's Commission for Air Quality Management and emergency measures were announced. Bringing you more updates, and from Canada, deadly storm cuts transport links around Vancouver. A deadly storm described by officials as a once-in-a-century weather event has severed road and rail links around Vancouver, Canada. Two motorways connecting the West Coast city were closed after being damaged by severe flooding. A woman was killed in a highway landslide, and rescuers say at least 2 other people are missing. Thousands of people were forced to leave their homes due to the massive storm. RCMP Sergeant Janelle Sohet says that rescuers had not yet determined the number of occupied vehicles that were lost in the slide. The Provincial Minister of Transportation, Rob Fleming, says it was the worst weather storm in a century. Thousands of homes in British Columbia were evacuated after an atmospheric river dumped the region's monthly rainfall average in just 24 hours. All 7,000 residents of Merritt above 120 miles northeast of Vancouver were ordered to flee their homes. Snow fell and cars could be seen floating in icy flood waters in town. Helicopter crews were also sent to the mountain top, or the mountain town rather, of Axis to rescue about 300 people who became trapped on a cut-off road. And now moving to the world of business. UNICEF, Jumia plan internet for Nigerian schools. The United Nations Children's Fund and Jumia, an African e-commerce platform, have partnered in support of Giga's work in Nigeria to connect every school to the internet and every young person to information, opportunity, and choice. They expressed a commitment to addressing the digital divide widened by the COVID-19 pandemic. In Nigeria, Jumia and Giga will work on 2 prototypes for digital payment mechanisms that can be used to make school connectivity procurement more transparent and efficient, according to a statement. The Director Office of Innovation at UNICEF, Thomas Davin, says Jumia's in-depth knowledge of markets across Africa will help Giga pinpoint both demand for connectivity and the economic benefits that it can bring. Partnerships with African companies like Jumia help UNICEF to tailor its approach to local circumstances, making the work on behalf of the children and young people more effective. Jumia Group Chief Sustainability Officer Juliet Anama says they believe that technology can transform lives in Africa for the better. According to the statement, Jumia's data science capacity will offer Giga insights into the economic benefits of increased connectivity, helping to make the case for increased public and private investment in Africa. Still on business, crypto firms practice high-level illegality, alleges Emefiele. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has again expressed the Apex Bank's disapproval for cryptocurrency transactions in Nigeria, saying the space and its operators are embedded in illegality. Emefiele spoke barely 2 weeks after the regulator directed banks to close the account of cryptocurrency dealers. Commercial banks also closed the bank account of some illegal foreign exchange dealers. The Central Bank of Nigeria had in February ordered banks not to support payment transactions of crypto firms. The CBN governor says that Nigeria's banking space had no room for cryptocurrency. He noted that the assumption that the new directive was malicious and linked to his personal reservations about the NSAS movement, which was reportedly financed partially with cryptocurrencies, was wrong. If he conducted a transaction and a regulator or security authority or wants to see the nature of the transaction, those transactions can't be encrypted for people to know what happened. It means that cryptocurrency is a product that is embedded in high level of illegality, he expressed. Right now, we're taking another break, and when we return, it shall be news stories from the world of sports. Do well to stay with us.
What business are you planning to showcase to the world? That which will satisfy the need of humanity? Of course, with Celebration TV, it will get the desired reciprocation you long for. We are committed to giving your business and services that quality touch of class, and you will be happy you made the right choice by placing that investment of yours on the right platform. Without delay, you can call on this number for your advert placement, partnership, or sponsorship of our programs. Celebration Television, your best bet.
Welcome back. And now it's news stories from the world of sports. Eagles survived Blue Sharks' onslaught, qualify for playoff. It was a nervy moment at the TESTIMONIES Balogun Stadium as Nigeria survived onslaught from Cape Verde to seal a place in the playoff round of Qatar 2022 World Cup qualifiers. Super Eagles became the latest side to progress to the playoff round of qualifiers after playing a 1-1 in the last round of matches at the TESTIMONIES Balogun Stadium. The Eagles had a dream start when Victor Osimhen opened the scoring in the first minute with a neat low finish after Moses Simon's cross was poorly cleared out by the Blue Sharks defenders. However, Cape Verde, who needed a win away from home to progress, drew level 5 minutes later when Nick dos Santos Tavares rushed sliding in at the back post to connect to a Kenny Rocha Santos corner after the Eagles' defense failed to clear their line, leaving goalkeeper Maduka Okoye no chance to save the ball. None of the two sides could add more to the score sheet as Nigeria did just but enough to sail to the next round. The draw meant Nigeria topped Group C with 13 points, 2 ahead of Cape Verde. The Eagles await other qualified teams in the final playoff round where the 10 teams will be drawn against each other on a home and away fixture basis. Winner of the tie will qualify for the World Cup taking place in Qatar from November 21st to December 18. In other sports news and finally on Newsdesk, Wales earn World Cup playoff after Belgium draw. Wales secured a home semi-final in the World Cup qualifying playoffs as Kiefer Moore's equalizer earned an impressive 1-1 draw against Belgium. Rob Page's side were already guaranteed a World Cup playoff spot in March through their Nations League result, but finishing second in Group E would ensure they avoided a daunting trip to the likes of Italy and Portugal in the playoff semi-finals. When Kevin De Bruyne put Belgium ahead in the first half, the ambition was under threat, but Cardiff striker Moore equalized at his championship club stadium in the Welsh capital to guarantee the valuable playoff seeding of Turkey failed to secure the 4-goal victory they needed against Montenegro. With a home one-legged semi-final secured, Wales will go into the draw later in November, feeling more confident about their bid to qualify for the World Cup. Wales will host one of Austria, North Macedonia, Poland, Ukraine, Turkey, or Czech Republic in the semis. They are now just 2 wins away from reaching the World Cup for only the second time and the first since 1958. And that's the size of the news for today from Newsdesk on Celebration TV. But in case you missed out, here is a recap of the news making the round. Buhari felicitates with former President Jonathan at 64. 4 days of national mourning declared for FW The Clerk in South Africa. Schools and colleges shut as pollution worsens in Delhi. UNICEF, Jumia plan internet for Nigerian schools. Eagles survive Blue Sharks' onslaught, qualify for playoff. And now to the photo of the day. Now looking clearly at the picture for today, we have a scene which shows different coverings, different umbrellas, which signifies different persons here. But then amongst all, we have one which is outstanding, not just outstanding because it maintains a different height, but rather it also has a unique color different from others. Now, this simply tells you that you should stop following the multitude. You should be a person of class and uniqueness, no matter where you find yourself. Stand out in all you do because it is a great mark. We also want to hear your thoughts and feedback on the photo of the day, so do well to reach back to us via our social media platforms. On Facebook, Celebration TV, on Instagram, My Celebration TV, on Twitter, at My Celebration TV, and on YouTube, Celebration TV. Now, your positive contribution to the wellness of the society you find yourself or the organization you work defines your leadership might. As an individual who knows what to do and do without expecting to be pushed, has bagged his ways to success. So be it known today that everything we do, think, feel, and believe either has a positive or negative effect on humanity and our national well-being. So be a part of nation building today. I am Comfort James, and it is many thanks for watching.
To 15.7 trillion naira by the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offence.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.